Shedeur Sanders' $30 million loss frustrates Michael Vick's brother and Deion Sanders Jr. as he laughs off humiliation. The 2025 NFL Draft is getting grimmer than you can expect for Shedeur Sanders. Thursday was supposed to be a night of celebration, a crowning moment for Deion Sanders and his son after all the hype, the combine talk, the jersey retirement, and all. Instead, it's turning into a cold, hard reality check. All 32 teams have already picked their players. But Shedeur Sanders, once projected as a potential top 10 lock, didn't hear his name called. Not when the Cleveland Browns gave their number 2 pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars for Travis Hunter, not when the New York Giants locked in Abdul Carter at number 3, not even when Pittsburgh was sitting there at number 21. The Steelers instead picked a defensive player in Derek Harmon. So day one has turned into a nightmare the Sanders didn't anticipate. You can only imagine the "I told you so" narrative that awaits Shedeur Sanders after all the hype surrounding day one comes crumbling down. An ex-post by Darren Rovell on April 24th just rubbed salt in the already open wound. After not getting taken at number 21, Shedeur Sanders has now lost $30 million versus being taken number 1. Of course, this snub doesn't necessarily mean the former Buffs QB will have a hard time in the NFL, but it's going to take a toll on his potential earnings. The draft development lingers as one of the biggest blows to Shedeur Sanders' football career, and his pro league income, $30 million, give or take. You see, first-round selections earn significantly more than the subsequent picks in days 2 and 3. According to Spotrac, the number 1 overall pick's contract value in this year's draft sits at $43 million, with nearly $8 million guaranteed in year 1. Now, sliding down to the last pick of day 1, the 32nd overall pick drops to just $13.3 million, which is a massive drop. But in this biggest turnover in 2025, his earnings will even drop lower than that. Some analysts have already seen this coming for Shedeur Sanders. Just a day before draft night, Jonathan Jones of CBS Sports made a brutal prediction. "I think that there's a very good chance that Shedeur Sanders is not selected on Thursday night. If he were, he would have been the first QB in Colorado football history to get drafted to the NFL on day 1. But as the New York Giants trade up to number 25 saw them pick Jackson Dart instead of him, he was just laughing off the humiliation in his draft room. Yeah, there will be grudges for sure, but the revenge plan is usually the highest motivating factor. And similar things have happened in the past too. Shedeur Sanders has a strong support system. Shedeur's draft stock saw a lot of ups and downs over the months, with some anonymous critics calling him entitled, arrogant, and the like. But this is not the end of a career that's just beginning. And Shedeur Sanders got the support system many can only dream of. Deion Sanders Jr. took a screenshot of his ex-post with his signature quote, "The rejected will be respected," and posted it on Instagram via Well Off Forever. And the post garnered several encouraging comments, including one from former NFL QB Michael Vick's brother. "Just like they did Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers. All will be well. Crossed fingers medium skin tone, folded hands dark skin tone," Marcus Vick wrote. You remember Lamar Jackson's 2018 NFL draft night? Despite a strong season at Louisville, he nearly fell out of the first round with wild doubts about his future. The Baltimore Ravens made the biggest steal by selecting him with the 32nd pick. Then he went on to become a 2x NFL MVP and became one of the best dual-threat QBs at just 28. Same with Aaron Rodgers, who fell to the number 24th pick to the Green Bay Packers. He waited a long 4 hours and 35 minutes to hear his name called. Rodgers also mentioned that his hometown team, the San Francisco 49ers, would regret passing on him. And boy, they did. He became a Super Bowl winner and has 4 NFL MVP awards. So yeah, Shedeur Sanders' tumble stings, and his financial scope took a hit. But history's got a funny way of rewarding the patient. If he lands in the right situation, he might just be the one laughing last. Fans throw Mel Kyper under the bus over botched mock drafts after 32 teams passed on Shedeur Sanders' draft night in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The air is thick with anticipation, like a fourth-quarter drive in Lambeau during a snowstorm. Analysts scribble furiously, fans clutch their cheese heads, and Mel Kyper Jr., the man whose hair has outlasted the Cold War, doubles down on his bold predictions. But by pick number 21, the room feels less like the draft day and more like a NASCAR pileup. Someone just threw a wrench into Kyper's well-oiled mock draft machine. And the culprit? A quarterback slide so steep it'd make Aaron Rodgers' 2005 freefall look like a kiddie coaster. When the Pittsburgh Steelers snagged Oregon defensive tackle Derek Harmon instead of Colorado's Shedeur Sanders at number 21, jaws dropped. Mel Kyper, who'd staked his reputation on Sanders as a first-round lock, sounded like a disgruntled diner who'd just been served a cold bratwurst. If I'm Pittsburgh, to pass on him at this stage at pick 21. Come on. Kyper groaned earlier, his tone sharper than a Lambo leap into frozen turf. The Steelers' decision didn't just buck Kyper's prediction, it lit a fuse under NFL draft Twitter. For decades, Mel Kyper has been the NFL draft's carnival barker, a mix of showmanship, stats, and stubborn opinions. But this year, his crystal ball cracked. Sanders, once hyped as a potential top 5 pick, tumbled past quarterback-needy teams like the Saints, Giants, and Titans. Even Cam Ward, the Miami gunslinger Kyper ranked below Sanders, went number 1 to Tennessee, and quite rightly so. Shedeur Sanders will come back to haunt these organizations, Kyper warned, doubling down. Critics fired back fast. Besides, Sanders' freefall isn't just about Kyper's credibility. Scouts grilled the Colorado QB's pocket presence, interview demeanor, and a system that saw him sacked 99 times in 2 years. One anonymous coach per Tom Pelissero blasted Sanders as the worst formal interview I've ever been in, so entitled. Meanwhile, the Steelers' Harmon pick encapsulated the skepticism. Harmon, a disruptive tackle, addressed Pittsburgh's trenches-first philosophy, a move as classic as terrible towels at Heinz Field. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders' camp watched helplessly. We might get one quarterback tonight, ESPN's Adam Schefter mused ominously before round 1 ended sans Shedeur. Fan fury over Kyper's Sanders debacle. Fan reactions ranged from bemused to brutal. Tag Kyper. Dude is a used car salesman selling Jettas for 3 decades, scoffed one ex-user. Another jabbed. The Steelers are an historically well-run organization, and I'll take their assessment over Kyper, who appears to be on the Sanders payroll. Even subtle nods to history surfaced. Back in the day, Mel Kyper dumped on the Steelers for trading to get Jerome Bettis. Mel can be spectacularly wrong at times, wrote one. The takeaway? Kyper's misses are becoming as legendary as his hair. As night 1 wrapped, the discourse shifted from Sanders' slide to Kyper's legacy. What does Mel Kyper even do if we're being honest? Question mark. Is he ever right? One fan fumed. Others skewered his QB evaluations. Almost nobody else had him that high. Mel hasn't got a great QB track record, scoffed one fan. The online attack was scathing. Seeing Kyper was on ESPN was the reason I decided to watch ABC, shrugged one fan. For Shedeur Sanders, the path forward mirrors Rodgers' 2005 rebound, a second-day pick with a vendetta. But for Kyper, this draft was a reality check that in a league where GMs value game tape over guru hype, even the loudest voices can get drowned out. As The Office's Michael Scott once quipped, would I rather be feared or loved? Easy. Both. I want people to be afraid of how much they love me. Mel Kyper? He's just hoping they're still listening.